You're watching North State Health, the North State's first local health program.
Good afternoon, I'm Tim Mapes. Thank you for joining us for North State Health, the only show dedicated to bringing you the information you need to live a healthier and a happier life. Our guest today is Dr. Ray Powell from Physicians Plan Weight Management. Dr. Powell, welcome. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
All right, we'd just like to start out in case some of our viewers are not familiar with your practice and what you do. Give us a little bit of your background, your education, how you ended up here in the North State.
I am board certified and went through my medical training at Texas Tech in Lubbock, Texas, and went through my residency in emergency medicine, have a board certification in emergency medicine, as well as then became a bariatrician, so I'm board certified in bariatric medicine, as well as a physician nutrition specialist. I moved here in about 2001 to be closer to my family.
Okay, and you come from a military background where
that's correct.
You ended up moving from that. Like you said, you have a background in emergency medicine, but then you started getting into the weight management, and what kind of spurred that on? You have a personal experience with it.
Right, my heaviest was about 250 pounds, and it was after getting injured during the Desert Storm time where I shattered an ankle and herniated disc in my back, and I ended up a disabled vet. And a lot of recovery from ankle surgeries. I ended up gaining a significant amount of weight going through medical school and residency. And so moving here, I started working with my father, and he also did weight management as well as endocrinology, and I learned a lot more about how to deal with obesity as a disease, which is what I have.
Okay, and you're one of the only certified, or the only certified one of your kind north of Sacramento?
That's
is that
correct.
The case?
I'm the only board certified bariatric physician north of Sacramento, and as well as a physician nutrition specialist north of UC Davis.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about your practice, Physicians Plan Weight Management. What exactly is that? Is it a diet program? Is it a store? Is it everything?
It's a good question. It's a little bit of all. We actually deal with the obesity as a disease, and it's managing weight. And so I have patients that need to gain weight. I have patients that obviously need to lose massive amounts of weight. But we also have very severe disease processes like liver transplants, chemo, cancer patients, as well as really super obese children that we deal with as well.
Okay. Well, that's about it for the background information. We do have a lot of information that we are going to get to today, and that's going to be coming up in the next segment. So we're going to be talking about, you know, basically, is it what you consume is what keeps you from losing or gaining weight? Is that what we're going to be talking about?
It's what you consume or don't consume. We actually find a lot of people don't eat, and we have to teach them how to eat.
Okay, what's that whole saying, you know, the most important meal of the day and that type of thing?
Right, exactly.
Just all the different mistakes that you can do?
A lot of physiology that we have to teach the patient on how their body can work with them or against them. And I've coined a unique term that I use to really use it as an educational foundation, which is the Sneal.
Okay, yeah, and I'm sure some of the viewers may have heard that. So we're going to be delving into that in the segments to come. So we still have a lot of information to get to. We're very excited to fill you in on all of that here on North State Health. So we're just going to take a quick break and get into all of that. For more information on today's topic, though, or any edition of North State Health, all you have to do is go to our website at krcrtv.com/North State Health. You can watch today's episode in its entirety from your computer or laptop. We're going to get into all of the Physicians Plan Weight Management topics for today when we come right back.
Welcome back to North State Health, the North State's first local health program.
And welcome back. Our guest today is Dr. Ray Powell from Physicians Plan Weight Management. And Dr. Powell, what do you do when you have patients come in and they want to see you about managing their weight? Because we did talk about it's not just weight loss, but it can also potentially be weight gain as well.
Right. What we do is we sit down, and I sit down individually with each patient. It's not in a group setting because it's a very personal thing that we go through, where we have to literally go through every facet of their life as well as their medical issues. And then we really pretty much design a nutritional plan for them that's medically safe, that we're avoiding starvation type of diets, and we get them into a pattern where they're losing fat and we're protecting their muscle mass. And it's a lot of education.
Okay, and that's the most important thing, because you don't want to lose weight and be losing the wrong...
Exactly. I always hear, you know, when Sally Joe loses 40 pounds in 30 days, well, guess what she's losing? She's losing a lot of muscle mass. And that's not good.
Okay, you want to keep your muscle and get rid of what you really actually want to get rid of.
Exactly.
Okay, so what is the most important problem with weight management that you see? What do people have problems with?
You know, there's two parts. There's one, and the New England Journal of Medicine actually put this out in about 2001. They call it food and liquid amnesia, where some people are just eating way too much and they don't realize how much they're drinking, and they're getting these 1,000 calorie coffees and different alcohols they drink, but other people actually don't eat enough.
Oh, wow.
And what I actually find is about 80% of the population go almost all day without eating, and then they do eat. And I call that the caveman, cavewoman syndrome. So I have a whole bunch of little lectures that we go through to really kind of educate the person on what they're doing right and wrong, and then we pretty much give them a specific catered plan for them to really get them back on track.
Okay, so I mean, that would be one of those things you do hear people talk about. They'll eat a humongous dinner,
right,
and you'll say, wow, you know, that you shouldn't be doing that, and they'll say, well, it's okay, I didn't get lunch today, and
right,
but that can be a problem.
That ends up putting them into a storage mode.
Okay,
is what it does.
So it definitely is a process of how you actually have to eat. So
right,
that's where you guys come in. So I know a lot of the viewers out there, you've heard it on the radio, you've heard the word Snealing. So
right,
what is Snealing?
Right.
This is something you developed, right?
Exactly. It is officially now a registered trademark, so it's actually my word. And what we've done is we've created a whole curriculum behind the word. It's got a definition, but it also has a whole bunch of different educational lectures that I give the patients. And you see on the screen now that I've got a variety of different things that we have to teach the patients, and this doesn't happen in one sitting. We've got to go through and educate them, review some of the ones we've gone through. I have what's called the gut lecture, the cave woman syndrome, the blood sugar roller coaster, where we add in more and more every time we see them. And we see these patients on a real regular basis to give them the power of understanding what the word is and then the definition, because the goal is to teach them how to do this with grocery food. But initially they need to be told and sometimes shown what to do, and a lot of them don't know what to do. So we've kind of created into kind of over the last 10 to 15 years literally a grocery store, very unique products that we use to really make sure we're protecting their muscle mass, stabilizing their blood sugars, and making them feel fuller longer as we're bringing them into a low or very low calorie diet. So there's a lot of science behind it.
Okay. What type of success have you seen with people that are following this, you know, Sneal?
Oh, we have great success with the patients. You know, people will call us all the time and say, well, what's your success rate? Well, remember, as we've stated in the previous edition, that obesity is a disease. Well, how many people call a doctor and say, what's your success rate with your diabetics? It's obviously dependent on the person and making sure that they really get the understanding, and we see very high success rates with them getting, you know, 10 to 20% of their weight off, which shows a huge reduction in stress relief on the body. Okay.
You were talking about, you know, the importance of eating in the different intervals and not just, you know, skipping a meal and that type of thing. Is it kind of almost like you think of your car, you know, you use fuel to run your car. I mean, it's one of those things. You would not drive your car on empty all day and then fill it up at night and say, well, it's okay.
Exactly, because the body is not a vehicle. What it does is when you do bring that energy in, it's going to say, yeah, I'm going to store it for the rainy day because you've been trying to starve me all day long. And that's really what we got to get into, is we got to show them that this is what they need to do, and when they actually do it and they see the results, then they're like, wow, this really does work. And it really becomes a new pattern. It's when the stress hits, they'll fall back into the wrong pattern, and we have to teach them even how to deal with those kind of stressors to make sure they don't go back into a starvation mode. So there's a lot of physiology as well as psychology involved in it.
Okay, so Sneal, it's a registered trademark.
It is.
You can't steal the Sneal. You can you know, follow it, and that's a good thing. We're going to get into the history and how you ended up coming about, like you said, being a doctor who also has basically a grocery store that people can go to help them, you know, do their weight loss, weight management issues. So we're going to talk about that when we come back just after one quick break. So North State Health will be right back. Don't go away. It's just a 1-minute break. We are back with Dr. Ray Powell from Physicians Plan Weight Management. And Dr. Powell, he is a big proponent of a process that he came up with called Snealing. So what exactly is the difference between a snack and a Sneal? I know people have heard the word, but they may not be familiar.
Right. As you saw in that previous slide, Sneal is a pretty complex word that I really use a lot of educational things. But what I tell patients right up front is snack is a dirty word. It's high carbs, high fat, and low protein. What we're looking for patients is things that are quick, convenient, portable, single serving, that have to have high quality. So we're trying to get the carb-protein ratio to be equal, but also to try to keep it lean. And it's really difficult to find that in a grocery store. You have to actually make it. And that's kind of the process that we go through. But initially, patients need a lot of guidance on just what to do, and they need somebody to kind of show them what to do.
Okay.
And that's where we've really gone into creating our own really nutritional store over the last 15 years.
Okay. Well, first, before we get into the history of your store, who can benefit from Snealing? I know we talk about your practice is weight management, so it's not just losing, but it's also for folks that may be having problems gaining. So who can benefit from Snealing? Is this something that everybody
can. We're talking people that are obviously trying to lose weight, people that have had gastric bypass. We have extreme athletes, any gym goers, you know, the busy families, the busy moms that need things for the kids for when they're at sports, diabetics. Everything that we have is really diabetic friendly, as well as Weight Watchers. We have the Points Plus on all of our products. And really people that have really unique special dietary needs. We have products that are designed that have protein, but also are gluten-free, soy-free, lactose-free. We have things that are vegan, as well as all natural with no artificial sweeteners or preservatives in them.
Okay. And if people obviously do have these specialized needs for the different products and their different needs that they have, so they can come to your store. They can go shopping there. It's going to make it very easy for them. So let's a little bit of a history lesson. What is Carb Essentials?
Well, Carb Essentials is a term I came up with because of the whole issue of everybody wanting to go low carb. And it really came down to where carbs are essential in the body, that you need them to burn for fuel, but you need to have them with an equal amount of protein. So I started looking for products that the patients really needed the guidance, and I started looking just within the nutritional, kind of medical nutritional programs, and then we've kind of evolved into doing the bodybuilding industry, unique niche markets where we find things that are sweet, salty, crispy, crunchy, that are all protein supplemented to help protect the muscle mass and to stabilize blood sugars. And it's just become a labor of love to where we go to all kinds of different food shows, from the Mr. and Miss Olympia to the organic and natural food shows, looking for these unique products.
Okay. How did this store come about? I know you said it was a family history, basically, too.
Right. It's one where my wife and I really have been looking at these unique products, and we started them in the office, and it just got so busy that the patients loved them, that we got so busy that we had to create a whole separate physical place to keep them. And it's also created into an online store where we ship all over the country. And we ship even to different countries as well, for doctors, surgeons, as well as just the general population.
Okay. When we come back, we are going to talk about, you know, how you choose some of the products in the store and how people can go in and see how things are differentiated and just how specialized it is. But first, some people may be thinking, you obviously have a practice, Physicians Plan Weight Management.
Right, exactly.
Do people have to be a patient to go to this store?
No, that's a great question. A lot of people think, oh, I can't go to that store unless I'm a patient. Anybody can come to the store. In Reading, it's open 7 days a week, and in Chico, it's open 6 days a week. And all comers, and it's a really great place to look for things that, instead of grabbing a Snickers bar, you can actually grab something that's got some wholesome nutrition that'll stabilize you and keep you from being hungry 30 minutes later.
Okay. Say if somebody is not a patient of yours, but they do want some direction as to what they should have if they go into one of these Carb Essentials stores.
Right.
Is there somebody there that can kind of help them out and guide them in the right way to go?
All of our employees are really experts. They work with me. They come and actually see what we do with our patients, but then they're really trained on every single product, so they know the things that are customized for different needs nutritionally. And we have a lot of handouts and different brochures on the different products that we have that kind of explain the power of the product.
All right, and I know some people out there may be thinking, hey, I want to check out this store, but what exactly am I going to be able to buy when I go in there? And we're going to talk about that when we come back after the break. We are not done yet, so stay with us here on North State Health. We'll be back in just 1 minute. Welcome back. We are with Dr. Ray Powell from Physicians Plan Weight Management. We are talking about your store, Carb Essentials, and we're going to talk a little bit about how you choose the different products for your store. But we know these days there are a lot of people out there who have some specialized dietary needs. So there's something for everybody, and when they come to this store, they can really tell what fits them, right?
Exactly. We have our products separated by different nutritional needs. Even with our patient load, we have a lot of different issues like celiac disease, gluten insensitivity. We have people that have lactose intolerance. We have people that are that need to make sure that the product doesn't have caffeine in them. So on the slide you can see we have everything color coordinated, where on every price point there's a different symbol or color that will show them what products. We have breast cancer survivors that shouldn't do a lot of soy in their diet because of estrogen-sensitive tumors. So we've really done a due diligence to go through every single product we carry, which is over 1,100, and they can go on it and know which ones are right. And even on the website, they can click on soy-free, and it will show them only soy-free products, but these are all protein supplemented.
And that would kind of really help somebody who's shopping for their family, because I know for myself, my family, we eat gluten-free, but a lot of times my wife is really up to date on what the ingredients are that she shouldn't have, and if I go shopping, I look at the ingredients sometimes and think, oh, hey, this is gluten-free, and then I'll go back and she says, no. So this would make it easier for me. So.
We've done the due diligence to really make sure all that is separated out for, the customer.
So how do you decide when a person comes through the door to go shopping at your store, how do you decide what products you're going to get, what is good, that they know that they're getting the right stuff that they need?
They're pretty much getting the Dr. Powell seal of approval, where I'm looking for products that are high quality. They can't just be carbohydrates, because that'll make you hungry sooner. So they have to have the protein in them, have to be lean, and we're looking for a certain range of calorie amounts depending on the size of the person. So we literally go to a whole bunch of different food shows looking for these products. For example, the one on the screen right now is a gluten-free protein supplemented cereal. This company has chips, they have pretzels, they have little cookie bites, but they're not just carbohydrate, they're very high in quality. The next products that we have, this is a medical grade nutritional company that we private label that is a protein supplemented Sneal. I don't want to call it a candy bar or an energy bar, because this has got a carbohydrate protein ratio of about 15 grams per, but it's also a very lean product, and they're just phenomenal tasting, and there's a variety of different flavors. Lemon meringue is one of our biggest sellers. The next product that we have is from a mom and pop company up in Minneapolis, where they actually make chicken, beef, jerkies that actually have different seasonings in them, like black bean salsa and Romano cheese.
Oh, wow.
Or they have one with teriyaki and pineapple in the beef, and they're only about 60 to 80 calories, and it's almost pretty much protein. Quick, fits in a purse, fits in the back pocket.
And better for you than, say, a Slim Jim.
Exactly, and this is a really neat product. This is out of the Organic and Natural Food Show, and they have about 90 different product lines, and we only carry 2 because of the quality. It's organic, it's gluten-free, it's soy-free, it has no artificial flavors or sweeteners, and it's almost like a trail mix bar, but it's really high quality. The Quest bar is another one from the Organic and Natural Food Show. It's got 21 carbs, but 17 grams of fiber and 20 grams of protein, and it's very lean. It's a phenomenal product, and there's about 9 different flavors of this Quest bar. So these are things that just fit really quickly. Now this is really unique. We call this the Jell-O shooter, and it's basically a small, almost like a gummy bear Jell-O that has 15 grams of protein, 1 full serving of fruit, and only 2 sugars in it. And it fits right in a purse. Even at room temperature, it's thicker than a Jell-O. If it's refrigerated, it's almost like a gummy bear.
Okay, and that'd be good for, parents when you're trying to get your kids to eat something good on the run.
Exactly, and at the store, we even have a smoothie bar where we actually have the complete nutritional breakdown for the different smoothies, and we're always coming up with different ones. It's not like going to some of these kiosks where you're getting thousands of calories and it's all sugar. We actually have it broken down by protein, fat, and carbs, and the calories that we can individually make for the customer. This is a unique company actually that makes kind of a mix on some of the baking mixes. It's called Carb Quick, and it's got 90% less carbohydrates. So they've taken a lot of the carbohydrates and it has fiber instead, but it can be made pizzas, pancakes, all that. We even have recipes for muffins, pumpkin chocolate muffins that we use it with.
Well, that's a good thing that you mentioned right there too. Like you said, you have recipes. Some people may get these things and think, well, what do I make with these products? So I mean, that can help them out too.
Right, and we have we go to the bodybuilding shows as well, so we have a huge selection of products that are directly geared towards the bodybuilding and the sports industry. But we don't usually buy them in big, large tubs. We get them in smaller individual packets so people can try them first before they want to buy a larger tub of them.
Okay, and so this is definitely a store that is, you know, something that everybody can take advantage of, whether they are already in shape and they are trying to have this very specialized diet, or they're trying to lose weight or gain weight, or they're a breast cancer survivor. That's what makes it so unique.
Right, it's a very unique store, and it's a labor of love. We're constantly going to these food shows, and we're constantly bringing in new products for the patients and customers to try.
Okay, you mentioned you have a store in Reading and Chico, right?
Reading and Chico, and online, and we also even have been approached by Amazon, so now we even sell on Amazon.com.
Okay, all right, that sounds great. So definitely no excuse for people to not get the right Sneal.
Exactly.
Alrighty.
Right.
Well, that's about it for this edition of North State Health, but we are going to take a quick break and then wrap up with today's guest, Dr. Ray Powell, so stay with us. Thank you for joining us for North State Health. Join us each week at this time for another edition of our show. We cover a lot of information, so for more information on anything you saw on our program, just go to krcrtv.com/North State Health. There you will find information on all of our doctors, tips from the experts, and you can watch entire shows from your computer. And you can also find links, you know, to your website for Dr. Ray Powell here from Physicians Plan Weight Management, so people can go there and find a link to go there as well.
Exactly, physiciansplan.net as well as carbessentials.net.
Okay, and let's talk about the locations for Physicians Plan Weight Management. There's a difference between the offices for the practice and then also the stores.
Exactly. We have offices in Wairika, Mount Shasta, Reading, Red Bluff, Chico, and Willows. And the offices have their own separate small little nutritional stores. So the satellite offices people can come into, but the stores are in Reading in the Super Target Shopping Center off of Dana Drive, and in Chico it's the 5th and Mangrove Shopping Center.
Okay, and then and as you said, even if you don't live in one of those cities, even if you're, you know, just around the area, you can also shop online. And that's carbessentials.net. That's what it is?
Exactly, and if they order more than $75 worth of products, it's free shipping anywhere in the country.
So that's basically like getting your shopping and you don't have to go get it.
Right, exactly.
All right, well, that's good. Well, Dr. Powell, thank you for joining us here today, and I'm sure our viewers have gotten a lot of information out of it, and I'm sure there will be a lot more people Snealing sometime soon, huh?
Sounds great. Thank you.
All right. We'll see you next week. Thank you for joining us. Have a great week.